Emily had always believed she was in a perfect marriage, or at least that's what she told herself. She and Mark had been together for 7 years, building their relationship on trust, mutual respect, and a love that seemed unbreakable. They had a beautiful home, financial stability, and 2 wonderful children. From the outside, their life looked ideal. Yet, deep within, Emily felt something was missing. It wasn't easy to pinpoint, but the spark, the excitement that once defined their relationship had faded. Mark, on the other hand, was content with their routine. He saw no reason for drastic changes. To him, stability was a sign of success, not stagnation. But Emily yearned for something more, even if she couldn't quite put it into words. Then, everything started to shift. One evening, while Mark was away on a business trip, Emily found herself feeling restless and lonely. She had recently reconnected with an old acquaintance, Daniel, through social media. He was charming, witty, and most importantly, he made her feel seen in a way Mark no longer did. At first, their interactions were innocent, just a few likes, casual comments, and friendly conversations. But soon, their messages became more frequent, their exchanges more personal. Daniel knew exactly what to say to make her feel desired, igniting a thrill she hadn't experienced in years. The rush was intoxicating. When Mark returned from his trip, he sensed a difference in Emily. She seemed distant, distracted, concerned. He gently asked if something was wrong. She dismissed it, claiming she was just tired. But deep down, Mark knew something had changed. He didn't want to jump to conclusions. He trusted her, but an uneasy feeling lingered. A week later, Emily was curled up on the couch, phone in hand, lost in conversation with Daniel. She was so absorbed that she didn't hear Mark enter the room. When she finally noticed him, she quickly locked her screen, her movements too hurried, too deliberate. Mark's heart pounded. He had been working late, but the way she hit her phone sent alarm bells ringing. "Emily," he said softly, his voice steady but firm. "We need to talk." She froze. Mark had never been one for confrontation, so the weight in his tone told her this wasn't about household chores or missed errands. His eyes searched hers, looking for answers. "I know you've been talking to someone online," he continued. "I don't know the extent of it, but I need the truth. Is there something going on between you two?" Emily's stomach dropped. She hadn't expected him to find out, at least not this soon. Guilt crept in, tightening around her like a vice. "Mark, it's nothing," she said quickly, forcing a casual tone. "Just some conversations. There's nothing to worry about." But Mark wasn't convinced. His expression hardened. "Emily, I'm warning you," he said, his voice quiet but firm. "If you keep going down this path, it will destroy everything we've built. You can't have a secret life, not without consequences. I trust you, but I need you to be honest with me." She let out a nervous laugh, waving him off. "You're overreacting. We're just friends." But even as she said it, she knew it was a lie. She was crossing a line, and deep down, she didn't want to stop. Daniel made her feel alive again in a way she hadn't felt in years. Days turned into weeks, and despite Mark's warnings, Emily ignored the growing distance between them. She convinced herself that what she was doing was harmless. But she failed to see what Mark had already realized. Every message, every stolen moment, was leading her further away from the life they had built together. And eventually, something would have to give. Emily met Daniel for coffee under the innocent pretense of catching up, but it didn't take long for the chemistry between them to become undeniable. What started as casual conversations quickly turned into something far more dangerous. They began meeting more often, sharing stolen glances, secret touches, and moments charged with unspoken desire. She knew it was wrong, yet she couldn't pull herself away. The thrill of deception, the adrenaline of sneaking around behind Mark's back, held a dark allure she found impossible to resist. It was exhilarating, until everything came crashing down. One night, Emily had planned to see Daniel after putting the kids to bed. She was lost in her phone, smiling as she crafted a message to him. completely unaware that Mark had come home early from work. His voice, thick with emotion, broke through the quiet. "What's going on, Emily?" This time, there was no escaping it. No excuse or half-truth could cover up the reality of what she had done. The weight of her guilt was unbearable. She took a deep breath, her hands trembling, and finally confessed everything. The silence between them was suffocating. Mark stood frozen, his expression a mixture of shock, pain, and betrayal. His voice broke as he asked, "You've been seeing him behind my back, haven't you?" Tears streamed down Emily's face as she whispered, "I'm so sorry, Mark. I never meant for this to happen. I don't even know how it got this far, but it was too late. The damage had already been done. Mark had given her chances, opportunities to come clean, to end it before it spiraled out of control. But she hadn't listened. And now, the trust they had spent years building lay in ruins." His voice was cold, distant. "I can't do this anymore, Emily," he said. "I warned you." In the days that followed, regret consumed her. She tried to reach out to Mark, begging for forgiveness, but his mind was made up. He filed for divorce. Though they agreed to co-parent their children, the bond between them was beyond repair. As for Daniel, the man she had risked everything for, he distanced himself the moment the affair was exposed. He had never planned to be part of the fallout of her broken marriage. In the end, she was left alone, forced to face the consequences of her choices. Now, months later, Emily wakes up in an empty house, haunted by the words Mark had spoken that night. The pain of what she destroyed lingers in every quiet moment. She can't undo the hurt, can't rebuild the trust she shattered. And every single day, she is reminded of the warning she ignored. The one that could have saved her marriage, her family, and her happiness. But now, it's too late. She made her choice, and she will have to live with the regret forever.